Ouch.
How much minus do I get since I only have one leg?
It's basically just to see how fast you get up. You can take a minus 20 in your athletics.
40 to reach the success.
Nice. We're still missing 2.
Or just you have to make 2 athletics, or are you missing 2 characters?
Players need to take it, don't you?
I rolled for my
I'm
dog.
back.
Okay. So, roll athletics. There you go.
5 degrees of success.
Sick. Tusken.
That's good.
Okay, I can roll for him.
He was roughing.
There you go. He was
Right.
goofing. He was goofing.
Intensely.
He succeeds, so I'm gonna say you do make it up to the surface. You were not too far away from very quick passage to the surface. As you surface, you're going to feel the burning hot sun on your face. Subtract another food ration.
I'm going to eat an extra every day.
Yes. Finally, you're at the surface of the city. Do you just want to move out and find your ship straight ahead? Or do you want to explore the city some more?
I look to the heavily wounded group, and I say, I think it's best if we get back to the vehicles and make it back to base. We have a lot of things to report.
Agreed. My knees still hurt.
Duskin, did you take any damage in the scuffle? Oh yeah, that's right, he's gone.
I don't think he was hit once.
No, he was okay.
Then we're just gonna continue onwards.
Nice. Then climbing up from the city, you can do another D100 test. Just to see who notices you.
Somebody else roll it.
Yeah, you're cursed.
11.
Nice. Okay, Tutnasher. You lead the group out of the city and finally into the jungle. And do you have a car with you that you drove in with, or did you walk?
Oh, we drove. We have we actually have 3 vehicles.
Okay.
Now that we only kind of need 1 at this point.
That's how it
true.
goes.
That's true. Yeah. So we're gonna subtract very quickly. You can subtract. But it was at the edge of the forest, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So go ahead and subtract 1 food ration to begin with.
How many food rations did I find on everyone's bodies?
You will have to check with them. Check the character sheets.
8 on Marius plus 4 liter plus 4 liters of water.
Okay.
What about Osmos?
Oh, well, he was fully stocked, so 20 plus 5 liters of water.
Yeah, I'm gonna take all that and dividend that out amongst the group who has any issues with food or water.
Yeah.
Oh god, yes I do.
What's your highest modifier on your navigate surface? Who has the highest out of the group?
I got a flat bonus on it. I just know it.
Nobody else?
That's definitely not Tutnasher.
No.
Which one again?
Navigate surface.
I meant to like have something in there, but I took operate by accident.
Okay. Do you have it or?
Nope.
Oof.
Oof.
All right.
3 degrees of
GG.
success.
3 degrees of success. Then let us see here. As you begin walking, you are struggling with food. You can all roll a survival test with a plus 30.
Me succeed.
So you
I just succeed.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, how many food rations do you have left as a group?
Well, I have
Hold on, because I have really bad on this. Oh god, manage it.
Oof.
So I have like 63 rations left,
63.
but I'm not
Yeah, I
sharing
got-
with anyone.
are you
I
sure?
got 10 rations
The
plus
Yeah.
Duskin
20
is
plus
so
the 8.
skipping the gritty details. Duskin is just plain old hungry. Unless you have how many food rations do you have, Duskin? 10 food rations. Okay. So go ahead.
None.
Go
Zero.
none. Okay. Go ahead and roll a navigate surface. Any of you?
Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
dead
give
from
him-
starvation.
I'm gonna give him 8 food rations.
Yes. But someone can roll navigate surface.
Okay.
Actually, Ogre, I will share the rations with Duskin since he gave me the blueberry sauce. Maybe if I give him more rations, I will get more blueberry sauce. Because I'm smart.
-3 on the navigate surface.
Three. Then everyone can do a.
Failure on navigate service.
Yeah. Everyone can do a minus 30 survival test.
So, yeah, Duskin is still very, very sick. And,
Yes.
you know,
I succeed on a survival.
We are going to
and is
draw it out now.
literally
Or explain
literally
it rather.
pissing sweat.
Yeah. Duskin is starving. He's crawling along. He's gonna need someone to give him 25 food rations. Does anyone have that to give him?
I have, but I don't know if it's worth 25 rations for some blueberry tube.
Okay, then the scene is this. Duskin, you're starving the whole day. You're trying to be tough, but you can see your face is like hollowing out. As you're walking over a hill, your heart skips a beat, and you're having trouble breathing. You need food.
Well, as I'm actually walking over that hill, I can actually feel my heart going dip, 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 dip. And I know I'm going into arterial fibrillation.
Okay, I'm
Or
gonna give
AF.
you 18
And-
food rations.
He's gonna eat them all during the journey. As you see Duskin struggling, you hand him your food rations, and you all can do one more survival test for me. Just plain.
You want me to do a navigate surface? Oh.
No.
If you guys want rations from Toothgnasher, just succeed a charm and you'll get it.
Plus 0 survival.
Okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll that.
Yes. So anything below 7 degrees of success is a food ration that you have to subtract.
Okay, wait, I have to go back because
Okay.
I have. So I failed with 2 degrees on the first roll, and then I failed with 1 degree on the roll before that.
So that's 9
how
food
many
rations on the
rations?
first, and then etc. etc.
9 and 10, so that's 20 rations. I'm
This is
just gonna
several
say
weeks
25.
of travel, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're wondering. So
Is it possible that my dog can go hunting for us?
It's part of the survival test. You don't have
Oh.
eyes. So, I forgot to say I was gonna do this. I planned this, but I forgot it because I'm very tired. But on the way up, you're gonna get one opportunity to see the rat again, and it's carrying your eyes, Ripsaw. Since I forgot about it, any of you can get an athletics test at -10 to try to catch it.
I'll catch it. I am Tooth Gnasher, and I say stop in the law, thief.
Let's say you're thinking back to when this happened or something. Tooth you manage to run over and jump on top of it, clawing the eyes from the rat. You retrieve it and bring it back. You don't need to do the tech use test, but let's just say that you repair it on the way up. You plop in the eyes again, Ripsaw, and you have your eyes back.
I can see!
Nice. This is long ago, so you've been walking for weeks with your eyes at this point.
I'm serious. They're almost eating all my rations up, but I brought like 200.
Yep.
Well, I managed to feel with what I call 7 degrees of success. So Duskin has literally fallen down in the sludge. That's what I call just thinking back to what I call Salamas and the green fields and the roaming, what do you call it, the roaming deer and the smell of clean air, even though that what do you call it, this smell he's actually smelling is awful, but yeah, he's close to just giving
Doc
up.
is gonna stand over you, casting a shadow over your face, and he is gonna hand you 10 food rations. And even though I have more to give, I am not gonna starve myself just to feed you, Duskin. But this should help you carry on a little bit longer.
Duskin will not make it out of the jungle without help. He needs about, 12 more food rations? Does anyone have
5
anything
more,
to give him?
it should be.
Tooth Gnasher is like holding his big ass bag full of rations. A little lighter. It's only about 30 rations left now.
Thing is, Duskin at this stage doesn't care. He's
Duskin,
just limp and just.
I'll attempt
He is
to.
literally
Duskin,
limp
you-
and just.
sorry. Yeah. Duskin, you
Sorry, go
take Duskin, you start with taking 7 fatigue to begin with. Duskin is now leaning up against trees on the way, stumbling through the jungle. With a loud splash, you can see his knees falling into some mud.
I will.
Don't you like
assist
pass
Duskin.
out if you have 7 levels of fatigue if you're not having like,
No.
a lot of toughness?
If it goes above your characteristic, you take that characteristic at half score. And if it goes up to your fatigue threshold, then you fall unconscious.
It does, actually. Threshold 7 and fatigue 7.
So you fall unconscious for 7 minutes, and then you wake up with your toughness bonus as your new threshold. What do you do, guys?
Shit.
I'm going to assist Duskin up, and then I'm going to start building a kind of like a sled, so I can just put him on the sled and just start dragging him with me.
Doc just brings out his collapsible little pole tent thing that they used to drag Tooth Gnasher on, and just says he can just get on this.
That is a lot better.
Awesome.
And just try and charm Toothgnasher for his resources.
I will attempt it.
You made
I
this
will attempt
really
it.
difficult, if Nazar. But it's awesome.
Use special, use
Yeah,
seduction.
Oh, mighty Marshal, would you please allow us, citizens of the Imperium, to have one of your mighty rations?
No.
Oh, God.
Fair enough.
You keep wading through the jungle.
What you get for not having anything in charm, guys.
Duskin is now unconscious.
And as we're actually being...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, as Duskin comes up, he's going to grab hold of Doc and said, he was supposed to be here. He was supposed to be here. Just fall asleep
You get an
again.
inspiration point. You are now asleep.
Do you think he'll start hallucinating?
Doc, do a Medicaid test, please. Plain old Medicaid.
I'm also opening up for you to win that ration by using logic with me. You'd be like, if
How would you
if I
understand
get
it?
one of your rations, you will get 2 cupcakes. You know, like how you trick a
Also-
child.
Math,
Okay.
Also,
basic
I-
math.
also bearing in mind that Doc knows roughly what I'm talking about.
All right, you managed to logic 8 rations from me.
No, hold on. First off, James, Duskin is actually imminently gonna die. He is just moments away from dying. What do you do, guys?
So,
I was muted that whole time, and I was literally explaining my procedure. Jesus Christ. Okay. So
Why is he so sleepy like?
you quickly see Doc extend another pole, attach it into the base of the little makeshift raft thing they have for Duskin, and you see him hold a bottle of TPN up above, attaching the tubes in, and then you see him tilt Duskin's head back a little bit, knowing that it'll be much difficult while he's unconscious, but you see him beginning inserting the tip of this tube into his nose and rotating it. And after probably about 20 seconds of rotating and pushing, you see Doc pull out a small syringe, stick it into the tube, pull back on the syringe, and you see some very weird looking orange greenish secretions. You see Doc pull out a pH paper, test the secretions on the pH paper, and he sees that it's slightly acidic. Then he hooks up the tubing into the TPN and begins the flow of nutrition.
Sick. You get an inspiration point. The
with this,
food
what do you
helps.
call it?
This is actually part of the official rules, by the way. If you reach your threshold, you become helpless and die after 1d10 hours.
Duskin is gonna throw his hand back and grab hold of what do you call it? Doc's hand and say, "If I die, you are. You have to do what you know you have to do, right?" And then he's gonna pass out.
Nice. Yeah, the medical treatment is gonna bring him back. However, he needs food and water now.
The TPN would be giving him the nutrition that he needs. I only have probably like 2 or 3 bottles of it, so that's only gonna be available for the next 24 hours. So he'll only be good for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, no, this is many days of travel. So he's gonna have the same trouble soon again. He needs food.
I'll walk
So
over.
Go ahead, Rip. So you have 8 of my rations.
I'll walk over to Doc and look at him. I have secured 8 rations.
I lay them across Duskin's helpless body.
Yeah, he actually can't eat. He's unconscious. Struggling to remain conscious. need to. Okay,
About
so
how far are we from Arc Terminal?
very far. We can say that. Do a trade cook skill. Just a plain trade cook. Anyone who has it.
Fuck.
Nobody.
My other character did. He was a wildlife survivor.
Oh,
He had
no.
navigate,
Oh no.
trade cook, all the good stuff you needed in jungle.
And now you have nothing. All your
But
useful
then-
characters died.
And
None of you have
There
trade
goes
cook.
Bear Grylls.
None of us.
No, we lost Bear Grylls.
Do a fucking. Fuck it. You. How many food rations do you have left, Tufnasher? Do you refuse to give them any of your food rations?
yeah, I mean that's it's my quirk.
Okay.
I'm stupid and love to eat. That's why I brought 200 rations. It's like my character.
Oh my god.
And
Duskin's
I'm
gonna
making.
die.
Well, logic or charm me. You can trick me into giving you rations. It's not impossible. I'm a stupid ogre.
Logics.
Okay.
I shall use big
Alright.
brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
He
Duskin's got
He
8
still needs a little bit
food
more food
rations.
to make it out.
Give me big brain.
How much food do they get now?
Alright.
Tufnasher?
He gets 4 more rations.
4 more rations. Okay.
I'm down to 18 rations now. I'm getting a -10 on the next roll.
I'll give him 7 more of mine.
7 more of mine. That's gonna do it.
Uh,
That's gonna do it. Yep. That is gonna do it, guys. You finally see the edge of the forest, climbing out, like dragging Duskin behind you. You finally see this vast open wasteland of Rund ahead of you. Your cars are parked exactly where you left them. The tarp is over it. There's a bunch of leaves, water, a little water puddle that's gathered on top of this green-brown tarp, and you sort of brush it off, take off all the leaves. Did you bring your flyer as well? Your ship?
We did not.
You did not. Alright. Then you're gonna take off and start driving.
Wasn't there a lark?
Yeah, I'm
Wasn't there a
gonna
lark?
quickly hop into the vehicle, tell Ripsaw to go ahead and strip the other vehicles of anything of worth, and we'll leave them here. Ask him to check for more food rations in the other 2 vehicles.
I believe you
Okay.
left a little bit of food rations there. It's more than enough to make it home. More than enough. So
And
500
I
kilometers
start
per
the
day,
vehicle up.
and you can start traveling.
hmm
Where do you want to go?
We are going back to Arc Terminal.
Okay, then we can just speed it up. You have more than enough food to make it back. However, do a D100 for me, please.
$78.
Oh, you were lucky there. I accidentally tapped the wrong thing. What would I have rolled? A 46.
Would have been better.
It would have.
In the forests, in the trees next to you, you see something moving. Driving away from it, you seem to be fine until you can all do a. So you're sitting in the car right now, just enjoying the fresh air, feeling like everything is fine, eating your last rations. When all of you are having trouble, you need to stop constantly and go to the toilet, basically. You can do a toughness test.
All of us?
Oh,
So you can do a plus 10 toughness test, all of you.
I don't make it.
Now I'm just gonna go ahead and re-roll, see what I get. Ooh, I succeeded.
You ain't tough enough, Ripsaw.
Did anyone fail?
Yeah, I'm not tough enough.
Duskin on the edge of death. I'm still here, guys.
You can have my inspiration, Ripsaw, to reroll.
Literally,
Alright.
Let's get home. Let's get the boys home. There you
Alright,
go.
I make it.
Sick.
I just make it.
You're having some diarrhea issues in the car, all of you. But when you make it one more day, you can do a -10 toughness test.
Right, at this stage. Okay.
You haven't seen
on.
an you haven't
Okay,
seen an
you hold
ogre with
his arm.
diarrhea.
You hold his arm. You lean back and go. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good.
Yeah. Did
I'm not
anyone
having a
fail?
good time.
I'm
I
gonna use
did.
my inspiration to reroll.
You already used your inspiration to reroll last roll.
Yep. No more dash.
And I
Okay.
gave my inspiration to Rip, so but I succeeded at.
I will use my last inspiration point.
Yeah. You must have passed something that was a little bit of an issue back in the jungle.
I
Because
still
looking
failed.
around, those of you who failed, you're developing red rashes on your skin. So your skin is literally like starting to crack and blood is pouring down.
I'm gonna use the diagnosticator to diagnose myself and see what's going on.
You have something really bad, a disease. It is rare, you don't know exactly what it is, you haven't heard of it before, but several of you have these rashes and they're open and they're bleeding, and you're not exactly sure what the issue is. Some of you, like doing the diagnostics, you can do a Medicaid test. -40.
I will assist.
Duskin is too weak to handle this disease. Surely he will die in the car.
Oh, fuck you.
Oof.
I crit fail.
Oof.
Oh.
You
Oof.
don't know what it is. You just can't figure it out.
I'm
The,
gonna go ahead and hit myself with a detox.
Later that same day, those of you who failed will start to get a fungal growth, agonizingly growing on your skin.
I had detox.
No, won't do anything. You take detox and it doesn't change the disease. Those
Then
of
I'm
you,
gonna reverse around and hit myself with a stem and try to at least ease the pain.
okay, you can get a +10 bonus on your next tests. The fungal growth is extremely agonizing and appearing around the red open gashes in your skin. Even your forehead is starting to open up and there's blood running down. You're short of breath, and those of you who failed are sort of just laying down at this point. It feels like you're boiling. You can all do a -10 toughness test. You get a bonus.
I mean, I succeeded all my rolls.
Then you don't have to do it. Only those who failed.
So, who's driving the car if everyone wants to stick to drive and I only have 1 foot?
No.
Still 1 degree of failure.
No one is driving at the moment. You've stopped your vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay. It gets worse. Another hour passes. And all of you feel terrible. However, you're still in shape to administer medical aid to someone. Whoever has Medicaid trained can treat one person. Who do you choose to
I will
treat?
go ahead and...
I'm gonna go ahead and treat myself.
Okay.
I will assist.
Are you sure?
Yes, I will assist him.
There are several others.
Treat yourself.
You are also
Okay, then
suffering.
I'll assist Duskin.
Okay.
So-
Duskin, what I called, got 1 degree of success, so...
So I got 8 degrees of success on the Medicaid roll.
I got 6 degrees of success on the Medicaid roll as well.
So you need a 3 degrees of success on your toughness tests to survive the disease. Next, you can do a -20 toughness test.
Also, Duskin, you're fatigued, so you're minus another 10, so you failed your toughness.
You get a +10 bonus if you have medical assistance.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit myself with another stem before I do this. Just another hour passed, you said?
Yep.
I'm gonna give my rations to Duskin as he dies.
Well, I'm slowly dying.
Okay, so since am I able to since more time has passed, am I able to treat someone else now?
The seriousness of the disease is starting to dawn on you, and in a last-ditch effort, you can choose to treat 2 people with a -20 Medicaid test, Doc. So, do you have more than 2 people dying from the disease?
Currently I believe
Me?
And
Duskin
Ripsaw.
Okay,
Okay, 6 degrees of success for both of them.
awesome. Both of you can attempt a +10 toughness test. You're all strapped to medical gear in the back of the car, laying down. Ivy is constantly washing your wounds, giving you
Oh,
antiviral, etc.
Oh, you actually fucking
3 degrees
broke
of
it.
success cures the disease. Ripsaw,
I live.
you managed to create immunity after a long while. Your body creates
I have 3 degrees of failure.
With Ripsaw
Do you have any fate points,
developing that
Dustin?
immunity.
I do. I have 1,
Do you want to reroll?
2, 2.
Remember your fatigue, so you get a -10, so it's +0.
With this, what I call it, Duskin is with pouring sweat and everything else. He's going to give a data slate to Doc.
How far
Oh,
away
it's gonna-
are we from Arc Terminal?
1 day.
So less than 100 kilometers?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No,
radio
no,
back to
less
headquarters
than
to
500
have. Oh,
kilometers.
oh shit. Okay, yeah, we're still too far away.
So he's going to give him a what do you call it? A data slate. He's going to hand it to him. He's going to hold on and say, look intensely in his eyes and say, you know what this is.
I just nodded my head, but I said, if Ripsaw's making a recovery, I could use the antibodies that his body's producing to inject into everyone.
Yes, that would be grand.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a syringe of Ripsaw's blood.
Mm.
And
Ripsaw,
I-
do you know what blood type you are?
Yes, of course. It's part of standard procedure to know every blood type of every mechanic. Yes, blood type O, of course.
O positive or O negative?
O positive, of course.
I look over to Duskin's boot and look to see if he has his blood type taped to his boot like I instructed all those missions ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at your boot, do I see it, Duskin? Do I see your blood type?
It is what I call rhesus negative.
So you're O negative.
Mm-hmm.
The best blood type.
Okay. I'm gonna. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna take the blood that I just got from Ripsaw, and I gotta spin off the RH, so more than likely you're gonna have a transfusion reaction. It might not
Yes.
kill you, there's a chance it could kill you, but if I only do a little bit just to get the antibodies into your body, it might not be as bad. So I'm only gonna administer a quarter of the syringe worth of blood into Duskin.
We don't have the Dr. Aderna here to confirm, but I trust your medical knowledge. We're gonna do a minus.
No, it would cause.
Yeah, it sounds correct.
Yeah,
it sounds right.
it would cause.
So I'm gonna give you a minus 40
adverse reaction.
Medicaid test. You have the bare necessities of medical equipment in the car.
I'm gonna use a fate point to reroll that.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you use a fate point to auto succeed as a surgeon?
I'll also assist in this operation.
I
Okay.
would have
Let me
thought
read that real quick. Hold up.
Yeah.
Unless you have mastery, you can.
Okay,
Which,
so
to be
I'm gonna
honest, you
spend
should
a
have
fate
had.
point to
Mhm.
automatically succeed with the degrees of success equal to my intelligence
Nice.
bonus, so that's 5 degrees of success.
You managed to do the transfusion.
Mastery
What does it
bonus
look
time.
like in the end, James? Anything you want to mention about it?
Yeah, as within the first 15 minutes of me injecting it, I can already see him entering a hypotensive state. I can see, since he has pale skin, I can see running on his veins where some of them are busting a little bit, and there's actual blood right up underneath the skin. And I am very cautious on whether or not he'll actually pull through.
Awesome. You regain a fate point as you save Duskin's life. The transfusion starts working, and by the time you return, a little bit of color has returned to his face. The open wounds and a little bit of the fungi is still there, but he is slowly developing immunity by the time you reach the base. You
And
drive.
since both me and Ripsaw share the same blood type, I just injected into myself the whole syringe, knowing that no adverse effects are gonna happen.
Yes. Nice.
Except to get Mechanicus AIDS.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah.
pretty weird high school Mechanicus life.
Oof.
Nobody has to know.
You make it back to Arc Terminal. Driving over the hill, there is again this gate, and you're just driving at full speed, kicking up dust behind you. Gravel and dust flies off. Several of the guards spot you. Some of them seem shocked, surprised to see you. They immediately run to open the door, the gate, and Tormund gives you a greeting on the way in. And you get this slow motion kind of capture of his face, and his greeting going down as he looks into the car, not finding any of his comrades. You drive into the square, stop the car, and run into the base. You are...
Once we stop the vehicle,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call out to the guardsmen to assist the wounded to the medical room.
Perfect.
Which would be everyone besides Duskin.
Yep.
But everyone that was infected, I would have laying on beds, and I'd be taking samples of what actually infected us to figure out what it is.
Quarantine comes to the dog's mind, perhaps.
As you all start to fill the room, Monitor 46 appears from behind one of the open gates in the Medicaid room. He is maintaining a Medicaid servitor when he turns around, annoyed. Why are you here again?
Some type of fungal disease as I go back to my work.
He sort of just mumbles to himself as he turns around, keeps working, and you manage to patch up the wounds, create bandages, clean them, and sterilize them. Yeah,
So
that's more
the
than
roll
enough.
for my Medicaid test to
Yeah.
figure out. No, this is for figuring out what the disease is that we got affected with.
So, who are you doing this test on?
I'm gonna use Ripsaw since he was the first one to develop antibodies.
Ripsaw is laying on the table. You are cutting away parts of the tissue, analyzing it. You look up the list of known diseases here. It definitely looks like Life Bloom mind mold. It is a very dangerous fungi that once one person has it, it is extremely contagious. So one of you must have had it and then given it to the rest through your food rations.
I'm gonna go ahead and take all the samples I can off of everyone's bodies and I'm gonna put it into a sterile, self-contaminated kit, and I'm gonna set that aside.
Yes. As soon as you do, Monitor 46 comes walking up to you, huddling behind his red robe. He pulls to the side. You see his red eye kind of looking down at your papers and your note. Are we in danger? What is that?
Mind mold. But I managed to cure everyone of it so far. The treatments are going well.
Have you isolated them? He looks concerned.
I put a hand on him. Yes, we have. Everyone inside this room, including you now.
You must be in quarantine for now. Do not leave your quarters. He looks down on his chrono. At least 2 days.
I look at Monitor 46 and I say, I will begin the appropriate containment protocols, but this isn't something yet you would need to tell me. If anything, you can assist with removing any of the excess fungal growths on my compatriots and putting it into this sterile containment field.
He becomes a little anxious for a moment, looking at the chair. Oh, more cleaning. No. He sinks down, picks up a mop, and walks over to the chair.
Meanwhile,
He's gonna start cleaning the
Tooth Gnasher, limping on his hammer, covered in mushroom spores, goes into the barracks.
No, Tooth Gnasher, I would have had you brought with me. Everyone's in the medical facility.
So you have 2 people who are missing limbs, I think. Don't you?
Yeah, I have a missing limb. I definitely would want to go into them, but he didn't include me.
Um,
That's why I made a joke about it.
I know.
While we're all in the
So you're
medical
laying down on the
facility,
table.
I'm gonna head.
And who else was it who was missing a limb? No?
Uh,
I
Wasn't it
believe
one
that
more?
Who
was
survived?
Marius, but he died.
What about what about?
Osmos is missing his head.
His missing head condition. That's the worst one.
Yeah.
What about Guardsman Heavy or 101 or others? Did he make it or did he die?
He made it
Did
up with us, but he's not here.
Nothing happened to them. They so you only lost limbs on one. Didn't one lose his arm as well? Oh, I
That was
misremembered.
Marius.
No,
Yeah,
Marius had a hole in his chest.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
My arms almost got destroyed, but not
Oh.
completely.
That might be it, yeah. Okay, so you're
I'm
missing
gonna go
one leg.
ahead and
Luckily for you, there is a whole bunch of cybernetic legs here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look at Monitor 46 and tell him to get the Ogren designated as Tooth Gnasher ready to receive augmentation.
He
Oh, are you
leans
going to
in and whispers into your ear. Are you sure he is worth it?
I look back at Monitor 46. Yes, he is worth it.
As you command. He turns around, hobbles over to the medical chair, and starts just patting your head and giving you various injections. You look up at the light, Tooth Gnasher, and you slowly feel the light fading and turning off.
Are you guys gonna make me a bonehead also and give me an intelligence implant?
If you do the requisition roll for it and actually succeed, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
Into a requisition roll? I'm Tooth Gnasher.
Yeah, Doc's gonna hand you a form, and on it it says requisition, and just write down whatever you think a cerebral implant would be spelled. And then Doc quickly turns back away and goes back to the little sterile containment kit containing the Life Bloom mind mold,
Holy
and
shit.
begins closing it up.
Tooth Smasher, look, it's one of those very nice and smooth toilet papers he just gave you.
Stefan, are you here? Do you want to be here?
Sure, whenever you want.
No, you are definitely here. So you'll be walking in from the armory. to the rest of the group.
I would
Be right
unceremoniously knock at the door where Dustin is. I presume both Dark. However, Dark is very. So Dustin, you'd hear a knock at your door.
He's in quarantine in the medical bay.
No, you're all in quarantine in the living quarters.
Oh, okay.
You're not
Yeah, I
supposed
was
to exit.
supposed to. Then both Dustin and Doctor FJ.
So Duskin will say, enter.
Soon enough, the door opens, and you see the familiar sight of a man proudly displaying the sigil of question upon his chest and his green administratum robes, looking at a distance from you through the doorway. Heard you had a rough trip.
And Duskin will rise. What I called he's lying on the bed at the moment, and will rise his what I called his hand his head and say, "Yes, it's been interesting."
From what I've heard from one of the surviving members of the Imperial Guard detachment is that you had, a run-in with the local warp populaces. Glad you survived. Well, barely.
Well, as we are. But what is the what you? And once again, he'll actually what I call Duskin will put his hand to his head and go. And how can I help you? What is your point? Pardon?
Matters not.
No.
Lemnos.
No. Save your planet in what way?
Yeah. If you remember, the fruits that many trees on my planet started to become poisonous. And this planet, well, has some resemblance, although perverse and corrupted in a way. It could hold the key to soothe the soul of the tree saint. But that is left to the Mechanicus exploratory vessels from Lemnos to deal with from now on.
Of course. I do apologize if I'm a bit short. Unfortunately, my head is not the way it used to be.
Yes, you do seem quite out of the water, or how Doc likes to say is, you look like shit.
And I feel like that.
Quite.
But unfortunately, that is the. So, I'm just actually going to come out and say it. Are you one of us or not?
Yes, Dustin. I will be attached to you. In what position, that is up to Jericho to decide, since he has greater administrative clearance than me at the moment.
Ah, Joy, he seems to love psychers.
As I would like to remind you, and your brain does seem quite scrambled, that I only took that one time spook. Being upside isn't permanent when alleviating one's status in the work for using drugs.
Is Stefan here?
Ah, Dar.
Stefan?
As he notices Dart coming from the technical closet of the room. Greetings, Dart.
Do you still carry that power armor with you?
Of course.
Ah, excellent. There's a city that you would have been most helpful in.
Yes, I've heard.
Sorry,
Heard
was I actually talking to Stefan?
Yep.
Oh, right. I actually didn't actually know that.
Yeah, Doc also takes a nice deep bow.
That I don't feel really comfortable when you're bound. Also, I've since you decapitate someone from that position, so please.
Yeah, but you're still, question mark.
I see the sigil of question. Be it is, Jericho still has more influence than me at the moment. We'll see how the squad will be reassembled later.
And
I
what do you call
understand.
it? You'll actually notice that what do you call it? The second that Duskin actually realizes that it is Stefan, after Duskin comes in and goes, Stefan, his fog will actually sort of clear and he'll realize it and give a deep bow, including taking his head off, his hat off and giving the big flurry.
Now, stand at ease, gentlemen.
Even though it's late and it's a bit what's the word? A bit awkward.
Well, fear not, I'm not here in any official matters. So please, especially you, Dustin, since I don't want Prime's death to be on my record, please focus on recovering. As he beckons you to sit in the bed.
And he will go back to the bed and just sit down.
Now, I have read some of the report, however, I want to hear it straight from your fellows'
Daemons.
mouths.
A lot of daemons in that city.
Yes, well, this tends to happen when a planet gets spewed out from the warp.
And one of them is the size of a fucking Leviathan.
Now, that is worrying. But more importantly, have you managed to identify the archives?
We just couldn't access the data loom itself.
And the reason for that is?
A 13-word passcode. Something to deal with the culture of this planet that no one's been able to ascertain yet.
Pre or post being swallowed by the warp?
Pre.
In that case, there might be a group of interest that could be useful. They are renowned for, well, hoarding ancient technology, as they said. Maybe we could negotiate something with them. However, do you have any other leads in recovering said password?
Yes, there was mention of a mountain. I show him on the data slate the geographical area of the mountain. There seems to be something here that needs to be investigated.
As Stefan listens, he raises his hand to his chin, strokes it a bit. His hair has grown a bit longer than it usually would be. He still wears an eye patch, even though that you're pretty sure that he has got a bionic replacement for his right eye. The scars of the melta that burned the upper left side of his body are still evident. However, as most of his left face is covered in these white marks left by the synth stain you've used to resuscitate and help him recover. Well, I'm glad that it has been fruitful. Casualties?
Arius passed. A bunch of guardsmen died. That's about it.
The guardsmen are of no importance. Marius, well, I'd say I'm glad in a way. From what I've seen, or more like heard, and you haven't heard this from me, it sounded like this was supposed to be his final mission.
That doesn't sound too good at all.
Well, you know, there's a reason why you haven't seen any old psychers. After a certain age, they need to be decommissioned. The risks are too high. Even with the Inquisitor pulling some strings in his favor, you can only stop the inevitable so long.
That is true.
Well, at least that I've heard that in his culture, dying in battle against a giant monstrosity is considered quite an honorable death. So I'm pretty sure he died without any regrets.
He more than likely did.
Anyway, excuse me for taking so much of your time.
No, it's fine. We need to recoup and heal anyway. I'm expecting us to have 2 days of downtime while we're here.
Of course, I don't want to be part of a group that is half dead afterwards. We should take as much time as it's necessary to assure one's health.
And
Yes,
Duskin
and-
will stand up and say, "My lord."
You would see a very annoyed Stefan looking at you, saying very quickly, "If you raise from that bed, I'll personally shoot you in the kneecaps." Now, say it from laying on the bed.
As he's sitting on the bed, will actually, Duskin will actually say, in front of Doc, I hereby say that I have transgressed against the Inquisitor. I have let my own views and my own feelings go against him. I
Stefan,
know this will inevitably come to my execution, and that I'm fine with. I'm happy with. But I ask you, please, before execute me, ask Doc what they called for the information. I wish to bring you into not a cabal, but a brotherhood. As it is, and as I say, once you know the ins and outs, what I call it, you will see why I have concerns about our Inquisitor. At which point then I will then take out my plasma pistol, my what do you call it, my plasma pistol, my plasma pistol, my what do you call it, melta pistol, and I'll put them on the table in front of them and say, do as you will.
Dustin, for how many months have we spent together? As he lays a hand on the plasma pistol you've put on the table.
Real time or warp time?
Combined.
I don't think either of us can say.
Oh, well, allow me to explain. We have spent a total of 3 months on Serif's Madness, as well as another 3 weeks while approaching a certain Eldari vessel, and another 2 months approaching once again Serif's Madness. We've known each other for quite some time, so I do understand that you have the tendency of having moments of passion, let's call them, where you tend to say things without giving them much thought. As he picks up the melta pistol. And I know you are quite a competent acolyte, although as annoying as you can be. I don't think I ever forget the fact that you blow smoke in the back of my neck each time we watch together.
That was completely unintentional.
Yes, I'm quite certain of. But I took that personally, if you don't mind. As he lays down the Maltaran on the table. But I do know you come from a good place. Your actions are indeed with good intent. I will listen to you, and if anything comes to pass of it, I will judge you. However, I have full faith that your soul is within the Emperor's charge, and I expect you to be as honest as I have been in regards to the case of abominable intelligence on Cyrus Madness.
And Duskin will look at Doc and say, what do you think? I'm gonna assume he's gone.
Well,
Okay. Well, okay. I will. hold up. Sorry. Oh god. Sorry, excuse me. So Duskin will basically say, thank you, and I know you helped me before. I hope you help me again. I will send you the information, and well, we'll see what happens.
Agreed.
Bear in mind, I am not only sorry, excuse me. Bear in mind, I am not only Ordo Xenos.
Yes, that is why, even though I do favors with you, I also keep you at arm's reach, Dustin.
Well, we all keep each other at all arm's reach.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't, as they say.
It is good to have you here, though.
Yes. Well, either way, I wish you a speedy recovery. And do know this, Dustin. My loyalties are only to the Emperor and myself. And the way I see it, the only way to keep myself in good stature is to follow the only man that can save Askellon. However, as promised, I will be neutral.
It is funny, because I only serve the Emperor, and that is it.
As Stefan walks away from the door and puts his whole mess to one of the closets. So you always did tell me that you are more than willing to die for the Emperor. And I've seen so many of soldiers I've even led, hundreds, thousands of them to their death. Yet I've never seen anyone with the courage to say, I am willing to live for the Emperor. Funny how that is.
What do you mean? To live for the Emperor?
Indeed. They all seem to run away from the lives of the Imperium. They all seem to think that the Imperium itself is hell and that only death can bring them salvation. These soldiers lose all reason and throw themselves into the arms of oblivion without any care. Yet nobody's willing to stay behind and pick up the pieces, take the responsibility, and suffer for the Imperium, and keep on suffering, spitting into the face of death again and again. I wonder, who is the bigger coward? The one who rushes to a quick death, or the one who endures?
An exit. I would say the one that does not wish to throw himself upon the guns of the enemy to maintain what there is, because without that person, there is no future. This is the future.
And that, Dustin, is the difference. reject such a future and strive forward for a better one. And I will pave the road to it with as many bodies as I have to.
At which point Duskin will take a moment to actually sort of listen to that and go,
And that, Dustin.
what does he mean by that?
I'll let you think about it. As
Knowing that there's many different levels in the Inquisition and everything else.
You seem tired, Dustin, so I'll leave you to munch that over. And I believe I also have to interrogate as he pulls out a data slate and ordering. Yay. This is gonna be an interesting day. Well, good night, gentlemen.
And Duskin will literally, when he is caught, think I want to be there for what he called the interrogations and will literally just go doop asleep.
Soon enough, Stefan would go to the infirmary as he would, as the automatic door would open and reveal his face. He would see on the beds being prepared for operations an ordering and a tech priest.
Oi, how's this? Who are you?
I'm a very important person.
Okay,
Can't
I'm
you-
getting me a new leg. My old one got chopped off. Busted beyond repair, they said. Now I'm getting a new one. Metal. Metal legs. At least one of them.
Whoa, metal? Does that mean you'll become even stronger?
I don't know. Usually I'm stronger than metal, but I guess it's pretty strong. Some metal is pretty strong. I might get lucky and get the strong metal.
Metal is pretty strong. But you know who is the strongest of all?
That's the Emperor.
Exactly. As he pulls out the data slate and check marks the ordering's name. Giving you a nod. Interrogation as he clicks on the data slate. Interrogation complete. Well, Mr.
Oofnasher.
Yes, Mr. Nasher. Or would you like Tooth?
Toofnasher.
Yes, of course. My apologies. Mr. Tooth Nasher. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and you do seem a man of very big smarts.
I killed a creature once in the desert. It was really big, but I punched his skull in. I met another creature that was just as big, but this time it bested me. Took my leg, it did. But I won't let it happen again. Next time, I'll get it. First time.
Don't worry, Mr. Tooth Nasher. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
What's your name then?
Stefan. Call me Stefan.
I like Stefan.
I'm glad you do.
I see you have the See, you have this sort of badge on your shoulder. Or not shoulder, but on your chest. I have a similar badge. You see, I am the marshal of this planet. Marshal Tuvknesh of the Adeptus Arbites. And I don't recognize your badge. What kind of badge do you got, Stefan?
Oh, not as fancy of yours or as lustrous of your position. I am merely servant of the Emperor, member of the Inquisition.
Inquisition?
Yes.
Tuvknesh looks a little perplexed.
However, I wish to ask for your permission to operate and bring the Emperor's justice to this planet, if you'd be so kind.
Of course. Permission granted.
Thank you, great judge. Great judge, I promise to you that I will not disappoint thee.
One day I am going to have an army of judges, and we are going to stand tall and proud at the precinct down at the round ruins, and we're going to catch all them thieves. There's not going to be a rat that's going to get away with any giblets this time. No, no. We're going to be patrolling every street, and we're going to be standing there tall, and there's going to be finally law and order back at Rund. You'll see to that. I mean, I will see to that. And you'll see that I see to that. Yeah.
As he's about to inquire about a rat, he quickly stops himself. As in, maybe I shouldn't ask this. Well, Nasha, it's been a pleasure, and I appreciate of allowing a humble member of the Inquisition to operate on your jurisdiction. Now, if you excuse me, I have a companion of yours to ask some questions to. Do you know a certain Ripsaw?
Yeah, that's the one the rat stole his eyes from. The bloody kid. Yeah, Ripso is my friend.
So that explains the eye with the rat's obsession. Yes, I'd like to talk with him if you can point me in his direction.
I mean, it's a big place, but it's not that big in it. Just call his name, I suppose. That's what I usually do. Usually don't take me more than 20 minutes to find anybody.
I can see why you are Judge Supreme of this planet.
Yeah, nothing escapes my eye. Nor nose.
You're quite a marvel. A true specimen to be admired.
While you're looking for Ripsaw, you wouldn't be happening to go past the cantina, would you? If you could bring me some snacks, that would be very lovely.
I will see what I can do. Especially since you're in quarantine. I'll do my best.
Thank you.
Don't mention it as he winks.
But remember, keep the law, or I'll come to make trouble.
The law is absolute, as he salutes you.
He's going to seem very happy at that and lay back in his bed, smiling. Thinking of innocent things. Blueberry sauce.
Inspiration point.
Biscuit. Thank you.
You too, Stefan.
Soon enough, he reaches the side of a part of the officio of the biologist, preoccupied with the medical studies, and he would almost watch or be tripped by a dog. Stefan would make sure in the last moment to avoid falling over the dog or hurting the dog, and looking at it saying, "And who do you belong to?" as the dog begins to run off Stefan has an inkling suspicion that wherever the door is, the door will lead him to his quarry, and soon enough he comes face to face with Ripsaw. Are you here?
Yes.
Stefan would quickly reach your part of the quarantine, saying, Tepris Ripsa, a pleasure.
Yes, a new patient.
You'd see a man wearing green administratum-like robes with the sigil of question on his chest. My name is Stefan, a member of the Ordo Xenos Inquisition in service of His Majesty the God Emperor of Mankind, also known as the Omnisire, and the embodiment of the Machine God.
Oh, well, I am honored by your presence.
I'm glad to hear that. I have heard that you've played no small role in acquiring the location of the archives.
Yes, this was very difficult. One of the most difficult missions I was assigned to. Being blind for most of the time was most difficult.
I think it has, by any chance, and correct me if I'm wrong, does it have anything to do with a rat? Sorry, this has been an obsession of mine as of late.
Scrap rat. They're rather large and have rather large spines on their backs. They're known for eating machinery. It surprised me and snatched my eyes. I was
Yes.
unable to retrieve them until later.
Well, you're lucky. I've met some of them on Ceres Madness, although back then we called them smelter rats. They had, well, engines inside of their bellies that were able to melt any metal that they managed to, well, put inside their twisted mouths.
Yes, that fits the description quite well.
Well, so you've managed all of this while being blind. Must have been quite a horrid task.
Oh, most definitely. Nobody would tell me details of what was going on around us. Only the bare minimum.
Yet something tells me that you had a four-legged friend to assist you.
Oh yes, the doggo unit was assigned to me when I left Holy Mars.
And from what I see, you have been busy augmented it ever since.
Yes, you can never go wrong with a cybermast.
Oh, I fully agree. I fully agree. Now, I myself pride myself that I managed to make very good business relationships. Have you heard of me? Perhaps I've managed to have quite a strong relationship with the Mechanicus of late. Sorry, I think myself that I'm greater than I am, but it's a defect of mine. As they say, always consider yourself important and the others will consider it too. But there is no need for such things between us, is there?
I am not too sure, but unfortunately, the Mechanicus is rather large. It's always growing, so word doesn't spread as fast as you hope it would.
True. The Imperium is quite large. Therefore, let me be blunt and skip to the chase, as I'm certain that you have other duties that you would like to partake in.
Oh, of course.
What is your field of study, by chance?
I was meant to be a engineer until they reassigned me to be a medical personnel.
Now, I'm certain that your, what do you call it, pursuit of knowledge doesn't end there. I'm certain that you would greatly want to have your own laboratory to lead your own projects of study.
So long as it is helping the Imperium and mankind, I will accept these offers, if they are offers.
Oh, there is such an offer that I'm more than willing to give to you. However, as all good deals, there is a catch.
Mhm.
Should you, not to be dream, but in my line of business, this is a constant question. Should you survive the upcoming trials that we will face together, I would like to make you a partnership deal. Explore places that you've never seen, the possibility of networking with brilliant minds. Yes, this is a job offer of sorts. And as I'm certain that you can see through those eyes, a little bit of tweets here and there, you do know from which organization this offer comes from.
Describe,
But nevertheless,
describe
until
the thing.
all of this ends, I'm certain that you will come to the right decision.
Describe.
You see Ripsaw kind of look around and look right back at you. I will accept so long as it helps humanity.
Of course, don't expect anything less. After all, we're the Inquisition. Shepherding humanity is our duty, God-given right. Well, I will let you prepare yourself for your analysis or whatever. Rest tight. As he begins to raise from a seat that has been seated next to you and moves to the door.
I will give her a bow and say, "Many thanks, friend of machine."
As he turns around, you'd see from the eye patch, the eye that he has, you'd see a red light, and from the corner of his eye, a small smile as he closes the door behind him.
Awesome. Totally awesome. A couple of 2-3 days are gonna pass. Toofnasher, Monitor 46, and James, intermittently between the flashing lights above. You see their shapes towering over you, looking down on you. They sort of pat you on the head and tell you to bear with the pain, it'll be over soon. The cybernetic leg is finally attached in a scene that you're barely conscious of. You open your eyes a little bit, look down, and kind of hear them whispering that you're too tough and they need to up the medication. You go under again, and after a couple of days, you wake up and look down. James, could you do a -20 Medicaid test for me?
Are you here, Doug? Oh yeah, nice.
Beautiful. So you are doing an
8
excellent
degrees of
job.
success.
In the assembly, you can see that Monitor 46 picks down the worst of the cybernetic legs. The absolute worst, retrieved from a dead Imperial Guardsman. It is of poor quality. He pulls it down and naturally starts attaching it. Do you want to
I
intervene?
quickly tell him, hey, no. He's much more expensive than that. And I quickly grab the bionic leg. and I
He
bring it
stops, he
down.
body blocks you. You have a little discussion back and forth off screen. Do a +10 influence test.
Can I just sleight of hand him to snatch the bionic leg?
No, he has command in the medical bay. He is adamant on not giving him the good quality leg.
5
It's a-
degrees of success
Sick.
on the influence.
So you stand there for a while, call up your superior officers. They came in. Stefan probably said a few words. Finally, Hector and Monitor give up, and you are able to give him the best quality legs that you have. This now gives you 2 armor to your leg, Barbosa.
Nice. Does it give me sprint?
It does indeed. It does indeed give you sprint, and it gives you a bonus to your jump, I believe. It's all in the book.
You just made me unstoppable.
Waking up, you lean up, your big fat body sort of leaning over, you look down at your very slender bionic leg. As you try to move it, it like twitches violently, almost breaking the medical bay bed. Monitor runs over. No! Be careful! That is more precious than your life.
Yelling at me.
You don't understand. This is far more valuable than you are. He looks down on the cybernetic leg and takes out a little like spray bottle and sprays it and starts like brushing off whatever dust is on it. Be careful with it from now on.
Okay. I'll do my best. Thank you, Mr. Robot.
Welcome to the world of the walking. He walks off.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and get up now.
Doc's gonna step in and try to help you stand.
It's like Frankenstein's
This feels
monster.
funny.
They're like stiff and weird at the first, like stumbling off the block, and then after a little while you manage to balance your feet.
It feels very weird. I can't feel my leg, but yet it's there. It's itching. It's itchy, dog. Dog is itching. Right here. Where the joints are, it's itching.
Doc pulls out one single thing of sacred unguents and begins smearing it all over the leg.
Well, it looks kind of badass. Look at me.
Do you still feel the itching?
No, that's a lot better. You can hear the tummy rumbles.
Well,
Oh.
better go get you some chow.
I'm going to see if I can make it to the canteen.
Sometime during these 2 days, Tormund is standing in the opening of the living quarters. You're all sitting around, minus Tufnasher, and he's standing in the door opening with a data slate and an autoquill, taking notes on two different places. Kind of leaning on the door, military outfit. It's gonna repeat again. So, Ian, tell me about the thing that was chasing you. What did it do? It was jumping down from the ceiling? He looks to all
Who
of you.
is speaking?
All of you.
Ormond is speaking.
Who is this person that's actually
Tormund
talking
is
to us, though?
the
What's his name?
Imperial Guardsman who you met at the gate, who was leader of another squad. He's standing writing a report.
A massive creature.
Don't worry, guardsman. I'll submit my own report.
Oh, we need it now. I'll take notes since you're in quarantine. Do you think the enemy will be a threat to our base?
No comment.
Was it a warp creature? He looks into the room ominously.
No comment.
The report is from Kane himself. We need it today.
I am no xenologist or anything. As far as I know, it was a really big creature that had many, well, claws, I believe it was.
You see him swallow heavily. Leaning back slightly, half open
Duskins.
mouth, he kind of sighs to himself. So it
Duskins
was
gonna go up beside
a
him
warp
and say-
creature then, or? Can you decide?
Duskin's gonna go up beside him and say, do you want it to be a warp creature? Do you know what happens to Imperial Guardsmen who see or hear about warp
Look,
creatures?
I don't even know what a warp creature is. This is Kane's
Indeed.
questions.
Indeed, you don't, and you don't want to know. Go away.
Well, Kane wants to know, and he wants to know now.
Go away. You don't want to know.
Do you want me to get him personally?
You know what? Yes.
He looks slightly
Yes,
annoyed.
we'll speak to him personally.
Alright, suit yourselves. He's gonna be pretty unhappy about it. But whatever. He shuts off the data slate and turns around. Walks off. After about 10-15 minutes, you see the Confessor open the door, full environmental suit. He's breathing through a tube. And you can see him holding up a data slate that says Warp Creature ?
Potentially, my lord. We don't know if it was a warp creature, but should we be having this discussion here in the open?
The Inquisitor, sort of annoyed, retrieves the data slate, types a little bit. It says answer now.
Fair enough. Yes, I believe it was a warp creature. Psychic powers seem to actually do more damage to it than normal physical weapons.
He's gonna pull out the tube out of his mouth and go, and did you fully kill it? Did you destroy the warp monster?
I have to be honest, I don't know. I don't believe so.
Will it be a threat to our station?
The station, probably not. But as we don't seem to be expanding beyond the station, I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be I don't think it'll be a threat anytime soon.
After breathing a few more times, he slowly pulls the tube out.
Why exactly are we not expanding from the station?
What about the other creature? The tongue creature?
Well, surely if we expanded from the station and had more, say, armored or artillery
Captain James,
assets,
what of the tongue creature?
assets, then
Did you
then
destroy
we would
it?
actually have a then we would have a better
Did you
chance
destroy the
of
tongue
destroying
creature?
these creatures.
James,
Captain
did you
Morpheus
see it
was the one
die?
that- Yes, Captain Morpheus was the one that extinguished the tongue creature.
What of his spirit? Did it linger? Did it disappear?
We do not know. We had no psychers on hand that were left alive.
He looks deeply concerned. Looks down, trembling hands. He turns off the data slate, throws you one last glance, raises an eyebrow, and then storms off. We are back to current time. You are now free from the quarantine, and Crusher comes into the room. Did he leave, by the way, Barbosa? Are you still there? Gnasher, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so you come back into the room. Everyone is gathered. You're out of quarantine. What do you do?
Oh, nope. I'm like walking around and trying to get used to my new leg. You know, hanging at the cafeteria, enjoying some R&R. Trying to play some ball if there is any like sports activities that the guys do when they're not off duty. I'm just an ogre, you know. I just
You're not
exist.
very athletic. By you, I mean all of you. What do you guys do?
Well, I don't know about them, but I would start with
But like, did we manage to get anything from the archive?
No, we did not. We could not crack the 13-word password. But we believe that we might be able to gain this knowledge from the mountain that we did manage to gather from the data loom. This one key place. I think this might be the next key in the puzzle. So we should really go ahead and head there, but I think we might need to spend an extra day getting the correct gear, food rations, and medical supplies in order. And we're also probably going to need a protective guard with us as well.
So what we're doing, I suppose, is like debriefing, at least Stefan and perhaps the guy with what we have discovered and plan our next excursion.
Yes, that's what we're doing right now.
So,
Alright, do you guys want to take a role-playing scene, or should we
yeah.
somewhere? Alright, let's go.
What did I miss?
You are out of the quarantine and you're in the living quarters. You can go and do whatever you want.
so you say you want us to get back, but this time go to the mountain?
That is where the clues lead.
Are we about to get? How are we going to get up the mountain, though?
Well, with that new leg of yours, it could definitely lift us all up there. Strongest ogre.
Oh, I bet I could. Hey, I recognize you. You, Stefan.
in the corner of the room, typing at an autoquill, Stefan would turn. Yes, Judge Judge, it is I, Stefan.
Are you going to join us up to the mountain?
indeed.
What you reckon, Doc? You reckon we can find a way?
Yes, seeing as we're going to be taking the bird this next time, I don't think we'll have as much issues. Besides whatever flying beast Captain Morpheus saw on their first excursion.
What about you, Duskin? You look better. I was worried. You look a little sick. But now,
Duskin's still lying in his bed, sort of coughing and going, I'm fine. I'm fine. The spittle sort of, he's feeling like a sheepdog on his pillow.
Oh, Duskin. You made a full recovery. This is most pleasing to hear.
no, I've been thinking a little bit. And if we bring even more